how long I have wanted to get back to some semblance of normalcy. And we're going to try to do that today, even though we're not going to do our traditional Wednesday walkabout for a number of different reasons. Because during everything that's been going on, I have just been cataloging all of these things that I wanted to tell you about. So I'm just going to kind of run through them. But starting with the fact that next week, I think that's on the, Stuart, is it the 20th and the 21st? Lord willing and my health holding out, I'm going to be in Dallas and Fort Worth on 2 subsequent days talking to some garden clubs. I'm going to be selling some books, hopefully a little bit of workshop, and I am just so excited because you guys down in Texas really show me some love, and I love you right back. So I'm anxious. I can't wait to get down there and visit with you guys about gardening and just all sorts of things. So Stuart, let's do a countdown, shall we, of the 5 things that I want to tell you about. Well, number 1, let me give you a little bit of a health update. As you can tell, I'm still a little bit winded. I am not yet up to fighting and gardening weight, but the tortoise wins the race in this scenario, and I am just not going to be the hare. So I am working steadily, slowly. Every day I'm doing my breathing exercises, walking more about, and getting my strength back. And I can't wait to be back to 100% because I have a million ideas to share with you. So thank you so much for all of your kind words, your kind notes, your kind gifts. And Stuart and I are going to be doing kind of a recap of some of the things that you guys have sent me and shared with me. And I can't wait to share that with all of you. I had a little bit of a fright on Monday because I was having so much trouble breathing that my surgeon recommended that I go straight to the ER again to make sure that I didn't have a pulmonary embolism in my lungs. I did not. It is all good to go. I am fine. I just need to get my strength back. So I promise you, I am not overdoing it, and I am working on it. So that's my first thing that I wanted to give you, was just a little bit of a health update to all of you who are so sweet to inquire. Okay, so number 2, back to the garden. Well, I finally just decided, and you guys got a hint of it in the last video that I did with my darling Phoebe, that I'm kind of calling uncle on gardening right now. Not only because of my health scare, but also because it still hasn't rained. We're still in a terrible drought. Temperatures are still pretty high, and the temperatures just aren't optimal to do lots of gardening. So I've decided to be smart, and my other friend Victor is going to come this week. He's going to be taking in things that go into the greenhouse a little bit earlier than I normally send them. Now beforehand, I'll make sure that he sprays them all with a good insecticidal soap, that he waters them down, that he checks them for any kind of pests or insect infestations. So he's going to be bringing in my olive trees, some of my dragonwing begonias, some of my smaller topiaries, some of my rosemaries, some things like that. Not my great big boxwood. Those great big boxwood topiary, those stay out all year long because it's just hard for me to keep them watered right now, and it's just time. So I am recognizing my limitations and very, very happy that I have a friend's greenhouse to send them into. Now my other smaller topiary, some of those I'll be using for holiday decor and things like that, and I'll of course keep you updated about those things, but that's for a future date. So that is my number 3 that I wanted to tell you about. Oh, and also the fact Phoebe harvested all sorts, Stuart, of eggplant and peppers and tomatoes and things that I really wish I had the had the energy to do a lot of cooking with. But some of those I'm going to be sharing around, but they just look so beautiful in their abundance, and they were so much more prolific in the fall than they were in the summer. So Stuart's going to share with you some images of those. And so that's kind of the garden. Oh, the other big concession I have made is to the squirrels, because while I was gone, I wasn't here to replenish the Vicks Vapor Rub on my my small pumpkins in the front, and it is absolute carnage out there. Stuart, you might need to take some footage of it. absolute carnage. There are seeds absolutely everywhere. It is just awful. And so I've just decided, okay, you win, squirrels. You've got me. This year I am just relinquishing all of my pumpkins to you. I'm going to put them in the compost pile. You have at them, because I am done. I'm thinking more about inside right now. So number 3, speaking of inside, boy, I may have gotten sick halfway through Singapore, but nevertheless, it was an inspirational extravaganza for me. It clarified and put into bas relief so many things I have kind of known about my interior decor style, my personal dressing style, things that I love, but I hadn't really been able to put them together into one comprehensive aesthetic or one comprehensive look. But now I think I have, and I'm going to be sharing that with you in upcoming videos, doing some takeouts from some things that I saw in Singapore and how they translate into my home decor, both now and what I hope to be my next home in the future. Things that I just absolutely love, that I think you will love too, and how travel really inspires you, and I think kind of informs your own signature style and how you personalize your spaces. So I'm going to be going through a lot of that with you. I cannot wait. So be looking for that as we move inside for fall, more for decorating, for holiday decor. We're going to be doing a lot more thrifting, and that's some of the stuff that's coming up. So that was number 3 that I wanted to tell you about some really great ideas and inspirations I brought back from Singapore. Okay, number 4, speaking of Singapore, I know in the wonderful video that Stuart and Matt put together, and bravo, you guys did just an absolutely marvelous job. We tried to kind of separate it from what was more of a Singapore and Bali travel diary and travel log, and separate that out from the personal experience that it was of the wedding and my relationship with my family there and my sons and my wonderful, wonderful new daughters-in-law. So we're going to share a few outtakes, because when I was there, my kids were great to humor me about letting me shoot some video. I got to shoot a little bit of them, but they wanted to have a good time while they were there, and they didn't want to take their time shooting me doing anything. Consequently, a lot of you have asked that I show maybe some more stills of me and some of the things that I packed in my packing video, the outfits that I wore, what worked, what didn't, things like that. So I think Stuart's going to try to share some of those stills. And then a little bit later, when I get a little bit more of the official wedding footage, I will share some of those personal moments with you. My darling daughter-in-law, Delphia, I asked her before we got there if just she and I could spend, maybe an hour or so together, just the two of us, because it was going to be so chaotic. And so she very sweetly arranged for just her and myself to go for her dress fitting, her wedding dress fitting, her last one. And it was so emotional for me, because I hadn't gotten to spend a lot of private time with her. I felt just so, I just felt so comforted that she would want to do that with me. And there was a moment, I admit, where I kind of teared up, because she's such a tiny, delicate little thing. And there was a moment when she put on her wedding dress, and it so reminded me of my first mother, Rita's wedding dress. It's one of the few pictures I have of my first mother in her wedding dress. And they were both, tiny in stature, and the dress reminded me of her. And it was just such a special moment that I got to share with my new daughter-in-law. It meant so much to me. I just have a whole new level of love and admiration for her than I had even before that, really, for both of my new daughter-in-law. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you, because it was so special to me. And we'll be sharing more wedding pictures and things of that nature with you a little bit later. And finally, number 5. while I have been infirmed and just lying around, my brain has been in overdrive, and I'm very frustrated that I don't have the energy to execute a lot of the ideas that I have. So just a forewarning that we are going to be doing so much, so many arrangements, so many creative ideas, so much new sourcing, all with thrifting in mind, because boy, I got so many ideas while I was gone. My last thrifting adventure, Stuart, we need to put a link to that video up, because I got some great stuff at that last thrift store that we went to. It was absolutely fabulous. And I just got all sorts of crazy ideas. And not only that, but I've been reading some wonderful articles on how pre-loved resale items are just booming right now, that it is becoming a huge trend both in the fashion world and obviously in the home decor world. So we're going to be doing a lot more deep dives into thrifting and those kinds of things, because you and I really, really love that. The other thing that I've been doing since I've been lying around is a little bit of shopping for Christmas. And in some upcoming videos, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things that I have already put on my Christmas list, both for myself and for some of my kiddos and some of my friends. So that is just a tease at some of the things that are going to be coming up. Thank you guys for hanging in there with me as I continue to recover. Thank you for all the love that you show me, and I just cannot wait to get back at it. So there you go. Halloween's coming up, so you guys be safe and get out into the garden if you are up to it. Well, believe it or not, we're actually doing an outfit of the day for a very specific reason, and that is post-surgical attire that is really comfortable. So I have showed you guys these before. Most of the time I got these tube skirts at thrift stores. This one I happened to get off of Amazon. But if you just recently had surgery and you don't want something to really compress your tummy, if you are pregnant, if you're just too full from Thanksgiving dinner, then I highly recommend these tube skirts, because they don't compress you too much and they're really, really comfortable. And I've got a big old incision right now that I don't want anything to press on. So these are wonderful. So I'm throwing that out there. And they're eminently comfortable to sleep in, to just sashay around the house in. Now I also
kind of look cool too.
And Stuart kind of likes them.
I like the way they look.
Okay, so I want to show you this cotton sweater that I have on, because I got it from Banana Republic, which is having a great sale right now. And it's so, of any other retailer, Banana Republic is encapsulating my kind of wardrobe aesthetic, my attire, the look that I'm going for, and that I've kind of always gone for, which is kind of a safari chic in the garden, boots, hats, accessories, mostly neutrals. I just love their aesthetic this season, and they're having a great sale right now. This is not sponsored by them. I'm just telling you that you need to head over to bananarepublic.com and just steal some ideas from their site, because I've gotten a lot of ideas. I've purchased some of their clothing, but I've also thrifted a lot of things that of different kinds of sweaters and things that I have stolen the ideas off of Banana Republic, and then I have gone out and thrifted them. Now finally, it may not necessarily match my skirt, but I decided if anyone deserved a new pair of comfy fuzzy slippers,
it's fuzzy Birks.
I know. After enduring what I have endured, it is moi. And so I like fuzzy slippers, but I don't really like my toes to be covered up. So I just got these off of Amazon. I love them. They're so comfortable. I'm really trying to be disciplined and not walk outside in them and ruin them like I have ruined every other pair of slippers that I had. But then parenthetically, also the last time I was in the emergency room, whether they were just doing it to make me feel better because I was in such agony, or they said it sincerely, all of the ER nurses went crazy over these slippers because, yes, I did go to the ER in my slippers. So I love them. I think I'm going to get a pair for both of my daughter-in-laws for Christmas, and I wanted to share them with you. And Stuart, let's share a link. So and last but not least,
and links will be down in the description, guys. Just
okay, yes, down and by the way, if you're on a phone, there's a little arrow on the right-hand side underneath the video, and you just press on that, and it will expand all of that information that has the descriptions and the links to anything that I recommend. The other thing is I do want to share, because I have worn them pretty much nonstop since I think I've gotten home, and that is my wonderful pair of sterling hoops that I got in Singapore. So there you go. There is your outfit of the day.